Hi guys, Hollyland just sent this thing over. And I'm very excited about it. It's the Lark 150, and I'm excited not just because I get to show off the showcase mode on my little ZV-E10, but this is my wireless audio solution. Let's get into it. Now I have to be careful with showcase mode because I like to talk a lot with my hands, and when I do that, the focus will go to my hands, so I'm going to have to keep them down by my sides, and that's going to be hard. Here's a disclaimer. Hollyland sent this over, the Lark 150, for review for you guys, but I'm very glad they did. See, here's the way, oh, I almost put my hand up. Here's the way that I have been doing reviews lately. Now that my channel has blown up to over 3,000, I'm huge. McKinnon keeps calling me, but I don't answer. I don't have time. But now that the channel is getting a little attention, people do contact me from time to time to review products. So the way I have decided to do it is that I will only review a product if I'm very interested in it and that I'm either already using or I'm going to use. You know what I mean? Doesn't that make sense? And I was looking for a wireless mic setup. I am using a lavalier right now that is not the Hollyland, and it is this thing. You see this? This Zoom H1N, which is a great recorder, and a really long cord that goes in, because I guess they mean you should run it straight to your camera, but that is just a tripping hazard waiting to happen, and I don't want to smash my little Dougie. Keep your hands down. Don't let him lose focus. Yeah. And the thing is, not only is this a long, tangly cord that when you give it to your talent, to the people you're interviewing, is very embarrassing. Just, you know, tuck the cord into your pants. What's the big deal, Simon? But also it only gives me audio for one person. And often I'm interviewing more than one person, or I am in the interview myself and you need to pick up my mic. So I was looking for something that had two wireless mics. And now the Rode Video Go Wireless 2, then that is an obvious choice for a lot of people. But the thing is, number one, that one is more expensive. The Rode is $299 and the Hollyland is $265, but the Rode doesn't come with lavalier mics and the Hollyland does, and the lavalier mics for the Rode are $80 each, and I like to use a lavalier mic because I don't want that little square sticking out of my chest, or if I'm giving it to someone for an interview, this to me looks a lot more elegant than a giant square up by your clavicle. Makes everybody look like they got some kind of weird pacemaker up there. I just don't like that look. Sorry everybody on YouTube who is doing that currently. And there is one more reason, and that is this thing right here. This is my Rode NTG boom mic, and Rode NTG video mic is not cheap. See, the sound quality coming out of the Rode NTG is quite good, but I have to use it on the -20 decibel pad and turn up the gain on the mic, because the sound, if going into the mic, when it doesn't have the -20 pad on, when it's on its normal volume, it peaks, it overloads the mic. And I don't mean at the camera level, I mean at the mic level. And that shouldn't happen. I don't think the mic is way too sensitive for my liking, so you're getting all these peaks and buzzing even though the camera levels are set properly. The mic itself can't take the loud sounds. I actually did a whole video on it that I'll link up here now if you want to check it out. Plus, when I saw all of the reviews of the Lark 150 versus the Rode Wireless Go 2, I really thought the sound was quite comparable. So suffice it to say, I was quite jazzed when Hollyland reached out and said, would you like to review the product for your audience? And I said, yes, I would. So first, I'm going to start with my favorite feature of the Lark 150, and that is the charging case. And the charging case is awesome. It's a lot like an Apple iPod case where you just open it up, you put them in, and it just starts charging right away on magnets. And you just take the receiver out, and then you're ready to go. So watch this. You take the transmitter out right here, and then you take out one of the wireless little receivers, and then boom, they are linked up. Oh, what's that? You have another person to interview? Okay, let's just pull out the other receiver out of the box. Done. And now, the box will charge the receivers while you wait. It's just like, hey, Mr. De Niro, he's got to go to the bathroom. Everybody take 5. You know what? Take 10. He had a big lunch. Okay, then you just put them in here and you let it charge up. Because the thing is, the receiver itself, the receivers have 4 hours of battery life if you use them both at once, and the transmitter has about 7 hours of battery life. So if you were just using one at a time, obviously you're going to get a longer run time, but if you're using both, you only have about 4 hours, and then you have to put them back in the case to charge them. So you're going to have, and then it's about 2 hours to charge them. So there's a bit of downtime right there, and that's why if you're going to have a shoot that is longer than 4 hours and you're using both mics, you're going to have to come up with a solution. But if there's any time in between where you're not shooting, you just stick them in the case right here and then it will charge up on the go. Very elegant solution. You just take a USB-C cord, stick it into the box itself, and then it charges all of the units. And I'll show you what else it comes with, which is a lot. It's got this little bag here, a little carrying bag that you're going to need because it has 2 of these lapel mics right here, and it has 2 of the fuzzy little windscreen, which sticks into the actual receivers themselves, and it goes right into the 3.5 millimeter jack hole. That didn't sound right. You just stick it in right there and it's extremely secure. It's a really nice solution. I do wish they had the furry muffs for the lavs themselves so that you could use these things in a windy environment instead of having to put the square there up with your little Don King wig. Of course, it comes with a TRS cable, 3.5 to 3.5, to connect the transmitter to your camera, but if you wanted to connect it to a smartphone, it also comes with a TRRS connector to TRS. And of course the USB charging cable for the case itself, and it comes with 2 extra little muffs for the lav where, like I said, the furry ones would have been nice. Okay, let me see if I can show you how this works here. What's really fantastic about the device is right here, the analog controls. Like, you have knobs that can control the volume individually for each of the receivers, and that is fantastic. Right now, you can see that it is on stereo mode and the left and right channels. Now, if you hold it down, just hold down the button right here. Oh, by the way, if you press it once, it mutes it. So now, which is what I've done. So now, if I hold it down, it goes into, I think that's mono mode. I can't see on my screen. It is indeed mono mode. So with stereo mode, you have audio coming in individually. So you're interviewing 2 people, you have separate audio tracks, which is great for editing. When you're doing the mono, then both tracks, left and right, are synced together. So you will, if you're just one person, do it on mono and you can use it this way. And then you press it again and you get the safety track right here. So the safety track, when you're recording by yourself, and then one of the channels will be the regular audio and the other channel will be recorded at -6 decibels. So if you get any sudden peaks, you can swap that audio out, which is absolutely a lifesaver at times. Anything is too bad, you can't do the safety track on stereo. Oh, but you can. So what it just does is it cleverly mixes the 2 tracks together on one, and then the other track is recorded at -6 decibels. So if you have 2 people speaking, both voices will appear on one channel, and then both voices will appear on the other channel at -6 decibels. So you can choose if you want a safety track for backup. Okay, I'm out in the east wing of my estate and I'm wearing my nice necklace of lavaliers. This looks normal, right? It's just dragging my shirt down. I'm gonna have a nip slip here. Just link for my other page in the description. Anyway, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say the same sentence over and over again and let you hear the difference between the microphones in this setup. Okay, I'm currently on the Hollyland Lark 150, and here we go. This is the Hollyland Lark 150, just the receiver unit itself. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. Now we'll switch to the lavalier microphone. This is the Lark 150 lavalier microphone. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. Now we're listening to the Sony receiver. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. And I can't adjust the level, so if this is peaking, that's all I can do. It's on a -20 dB pad, but the mic is still very hot. I think it sounds pretty good though, and it's really easy to use. It's very convenient, but if I start yelling, look out, and I like to yell. And now you hear the Sony lavalier plugged in to the Sony receiver that you can buy separately. Does that sound any better? The volume, at least, seems to be a bit lower, so you have more headroom. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. Now I'm using the Boya-M1 plugged into the Zoom H1N. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. And now we'll switch to the onboard microphone of the ZV-E10. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. Now this is about as good as this mic is going to sound because I'm close to the camera. When I back up here, obviously the audio won't be anywhere near as good as when you're using a lavalier microphone. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. Mark Bennett is as clever as he is ravishing, which is a lot. This is a test of the Hollyland receiver. Mark Bennett is as intelligent as he is gorgeous, which is very. This is a test of the Lark 150 lav mic. Mark Bennett is as intelligent as he is gorgeous, which is very. This is a test of the Sony ECM receiver mic. Mark Bennett is as intelligent as he is gorgeous, which is very. This is a test of the Sony ECM lav mic plugged into the receiver. Mark Bennett is as intelligent as he is gorgeous, which is very. Now I'm going to do a test of my old setup, the Boya-M1 going into the Zoom H1N, but I've interjected. You'll notice I'm wearing a different color shirt is because I had to record this again, because that's one of the problems with when you're trying to do external audio is that you have too many files in too many places, and I either misplaced the file or I didn't press record. I have the video footage, but I don't have the audio, and that is not the first time that that has happened during this video, which is why I so much want the wireless solution where the mic just goes right into the camera, so when I press record on the camera, I have the audio, don't have to sync it anyway. It's so finicky because you got little micro SD cards, and then you got to take that card out and then put that in. Now you have two files, then you have to sync them up, and that is if you press record, which I don't think I did anyway. This is a test of the Boya lav mic going into the Zoom H1N. Mark Bennett is as clever as he... Wait, that's not the one for inside the studio. Mark Bennett is as intelligent as he is handsome, which is very. This is a test of the onboard microphone on the ZV-E10. Mark Bennett is as intelligent as he is gorgeous, which is very. Now I am very impressed with the Lark 150 here because of the low noise floor. When the mic is quiet, you don't hear all that static and all that rumble that you hear with the other mics. And I think it's because you can turn down the preamps to their lowest level in the ZV-E10, and then you can just use the onboard preamps of the mic itself, and they are obviously very good. Now, I find the audio is a little thin. It's a little tinny for my taste, so I would add a little bit of bass in post, but I do that a lot to my voice anyway because I sound like this. So let's do that now. I'll add a little bass in just to make it nicer on your ears. Oh, isn't that nice? That's so good. So to me, the Lark 150 easily beats my old setup, which was the Boya mic going into the H1N, because A, it's cumbersome and I have to sync it in post. So if I make a lot of clips, H1N I have to press record, on the camera I have to press record, then even if I don't screw that up and I press record on each one the right time, then in post I have to label all the clips, I have to get them together. So if you do that like 30 times, you're bound to mess up. It's such a pain in the butt, even if you don't mess up. And like I say, that noise floor is too high, there's too much static. And speaking of that, the Sony, I wanted to love it, and maybe you can make it work for you, because maybe you're like a Curtis Judd and you have a very good measured voice and you don't go ranting and raving and screaming like I do. Because of the fact that you can't set the levels in the mic, it's very difficult for me to want to use that mic on a regular basis. I'm already down on the -20 pad on the mic itself, and you can't control the volume on the camera. It surprised me, but you can't lower the preamps at all in the camera. You're stuck with what they gave you, which is why I think it is the noisiest of the three microphones. And the fact that you can't lower the volume at all except going down to the -20 decibel pad, and then it's still a hot mic. So if you have a loud talker, it's just not going to work for you, which is why, again, I would go with the Lark 150, because the Sony mic, the last time I checked, was $299, and that's just for the one receiver. So Hollyland has asked me for my honest feedback. So what don't I like about the Lark 150? Well, number one, you can't update it if you're a Mac user. I know that sounds crazy, but you have to update it with a Windows computer. If right now if you have a Mac computer, You can't update the thing. Now, I personally don't need an update. Everything works great, but in the future, if an update comes that I would want to be able to update it. So Hollyland, please try to get Mac support for your device. That is the first complaint. The second complaint is the windscreen. I want the furry muff on the little receiver right here. The next drawback is the range. Hollyland says it's rated at 100 meters with line of sight, but I didn't get that. Most people that review it don't get that. It's more between like 50 and 75 meters. So if you're at a really far distance, like if you're trying to record a concert or something, or you're one of those guys that goes to church and you want to record the priest and he's far away, then you know what, you're going to probably want to go with the Rode, because that has a 200 meter distance, and that does seem to in fact be 200 meters. And the last one is internal recording. The Rode Wireless Go offers internal recording, which is great as a redundant backup. However, the more I think about that, the more I'm not so sure it is that useful. There will be times, no doubt, that you can use that. But for the most part, when I am doing a backup, I will use a separate audio backup. Like I'll use a boom mic or something like that, because if the audio gets messed up on the lavalier, it's often because it got messed up on the lavalier. So recording the mess up twice, once to your camera and once internally, what's the difference? Like somebody's just, you know, like they're doing their Tarzan impression, or, you know, that Matthew McConaughey thing from Wolf of Wall Street, and they just start pounding on their chest. Internally, that's still going to sound terrible. So you would want the boom mic in that instance. But what the Rode internal recording really is good for is that you can just take the transmitter and the receiver in your hands and not plug it into a camera and just use it as a separate audio device. You know, that's pretty cool. But again, the Hollyland is a lot cheaper when you consider the fact that they offer the lav mics with it. But man, for $265 as of October 1st, 2021, I don't think you can go wrong here. It sounds good. The receivers are tiny. You can do stereo mode, mono mode, safety track. Comes with the lavaliers, comes with the cool charging case. It is fantastic, and it is what I will be using when I am out and about and doing my interviews from this point forward. That's it. Once again, thanks to Hollyland for sending the Lark 150 out for review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know little Dougie enjoyed it. How was that product showcase mode? Pretty good? Yeah. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.